Hi, I'm Clate Mask, and on the Conquer the Chaos podcast, I talk with inspiring business owners about what it takes to build a great business and a great life. That means more money, more time, more control, more impact, more freedom. So keep listening to hear the tough lessons they learned so you don't have to repeat them. Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Conquer the Chaos podcast. I'm your host, Clate Mask, co-founder and CEO of Keap, and today I've got a longtime friend, somebody that I'm so excited to introduce you to. Many of you probably already know Joe Polish, but he's somebody that goes way back with us here at Keap. And in fact, I credit you, Joe, for turning me into a voracious reader.
Oh, good.
Because you are the one that just, every time we get together, you give me a bunch of books. So I'm really excited for you all to get to know Joe Polish a little better if you don't know him. Some of you probably do. But Joe Polish is an amazing marketer, incredible marketer, one of the best marketers I've ever met. And he also is our second customer at Keap, and so that's always a fun thing. And just a friend and a great entrepreneur. So, Joe, why don't you give a little bit more overview of you and who you are to the audience?
No, great to be here. So I'm an entrepreneur. I have a lot of varied interests and incredibly curious. So that means you can call it ADD or distractibility or just be curious. And so I
like the curious part. That's good.
Oh, yeah. I think the curiosity is what allows me to constantly look at how to make things better, figure out why things are the way they are, why humans behave the way that they behave. Because, look, marketing at the end of the day is applied psychology. It's not just understanding behavior, but figuring out, I always come at from the frame of asking what's in it for them. What does the person want? How do I deliver that in a way to where I actually want to deliver it? Because, even if you try to give someone what it is they want, if you don't like doing it, you're not going to bring good energy to that level. So I have, I've sold courses. I learned marketing from being a debt road carpet cleaner. That's sort of like my origin story. And I turned my carpet cleaning business around, taught thousands of people in the cleaning and restoration industry. That led to developing coaching groups. I had my first coaching group back in 1998. I'm like one of the OGs of like masterminds. Yeah. And so I have a group called Genius Network. I really refer to it as a connection network. It's just bringing people together to connect them with ideas with other individuals. It's like a tribe of tribal leaders. And so that's like one of my core businesses it's one of the highest level marketing groups in the world, but it's more than marketing. It's health, mental and physical, wealth, not just making money, but not losing it. Two different skill sets, and then what I call ELF, doing things that are easy, lucrative, and fun versus half, which is hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating. So I'm constantly in the search of helping myself and my clients and other people to be like, what in your life is ELF? What is half? What's causing it to be hard, annoying, lame, and frustrated, or hard, annoying, lucrative, and frustrating? And what do you need to do differently? Oftentimes that's change the messaging, change the direction, change the target market. Sometimes it's looking at your addictions, looking at your workaholism, looking at the food you're eating. And so it's a whole variety. I also own a ghost town, 40-acre cleaner areas.
I love this.
Yeah, we're in sort of a ghost town. We currently we have 2,500 acres of gold, silver, copper mine claims that we're going to start mining. I read a bunch of books, a bunch of stuff.
So if you didn't get from that the full picture of who Joe Polish is, I don't know how you're going to get it. Because Joe's, like you said, not only an amazing marketer, but probably the best connector I've ever met. You are world-class at recognizing people in your network that would benefit from getting together and making the connection. I've been the beneficiary of that many times, going back, I think back to Dan Sullivan, the strategic coach, which I did for years. And I, there's been many people you've connected me to, and I see you do that extraordinarily well as part of Genius Network.
Yeah, I do it all day long. I try. It doesn't matter if there's money involved in it or not. I think I'm wired to. I think any problem in the world can be solved with the right Genius Network. And even if someone's not in my group Genius Network, I think of a Genius Network as a group of people that have skills and capabilities like everyone has it. If you want to be a better parent, who do you know that's a great parent? If you want to be in better physical shape, who do you know that could help? Do you need a nutritionist? Do you need a personal trainer? Do you need a yoga instructor, a massage therapist? All the, different varieties of things that would help you. And so, for instance, let's go to Keap. If you want to put your business together, you're wanting to integrate all of the different operational things, you find these sort of solutions. I'm always looking for how to connect people with solutions to their problems, because people talk about thought leaders. Well, any idiot. Result leaders are valuable. So, like, how do we produce a result? And oftentimes that's a connection.
Yeah, I love that. So you've been you've been an entrepreneur in so many different ways. I mean, I look at all the different things you've done, from carpet cleaning to your Piranha marketing business, where you taught people how to do cleaning businesses more effectively,
right.
To all the things you've done around easy, lucrative, and fun. And by the way, this is the first time I've heard you say that: health, wealth, and elf. That's the first time we're being really that. So I've heard you talk about easy, lucrative, and fun versus the half, which is hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating. Right. I've heard you teach these things, but when you think about life as an entrepreneur, and you look at all the different kinds of things you've done in entrepreneurship, not to mention now coaching, masterminding, leading G's Network, which is an amazing group of entrepreneurs that are performing at a really high level. When you look at that, we got entrepreneurs that are listening to this. What is it about entrepreneurship that causes you to, you've done so many different flavors of it. You don't need to keep doing this. You could be done, but you keep going at new, different types of entrepreneurship. What is it that attracts you to entrepreneurship so much and makes it so satisfying?
Well, to me, a business is solving problems for a profit. Most opportunities, most solutions come from seeing the pain in the world and figuring out how to minimize it and reduce it. Some people, some industries, some that are very corrupt, actually make money by creating more pain, not by small.
Right.
They sell crappy food, or they get people hooked on certain drugs, or they try to pretend like they care about them, but they really don't. So an entrepreneur is a problem solver in many ways. They're also an artist. Yeah, I think I look at everything through the lens of trauma, through the lens of addiction, and so through the lens of connection and disconnection. And in entrepreneurs, they're often misunderstood because many people think they're doing it just for the money.
Yeah,
and certainly you're not going to have a successful business if you don't make a profit. If you want to just break it down to money, we're all in the arithmetic business. I have an addiction recovery foundation, Genius Recovery. And so that doesn't make me any money. I've never paid myself anything for it, but I get a tremendous amount of joy by immersing myself in very painful situations, but seeing the healing that comes out of it.
No problem.
Yeah, I know the suffering of being an addict because I've been in recovery for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And so why I keep pursuing stuff, I'll tell you, if you want to, we can have the psychological reasons, it just allows me to make money, it allows me to do cool stuff, have great experiences, but it's also, it's a healthy form, if managed right, it's a healthy form of biochemistry.
Yeah.
So dopamine is an example.
Yeah.
People think that's a pleasure neurotransmitter. It's not. It's anticipation.
Yeah.
And so much of the world is driven by FOMO. And so, every person that would be watching this that has a goal, a dream, and aspiration, if they didn't have dopamine, if their serotonin, if their biochemistry was off, they may not have the motivation to build into businesses. And for me, constantly focusing on challenging things and solving things and figuring out just keeps me, to me, that's my artistic flow. So what I was going to say is it's expression.
Yeah.
Everything we do is expressing ourselves. When you wake up every morning and you drink water and you work out and you say you love your wife and your kid, all of the things that if we were to follow you behind you showing up as CEO, you have your forms of expression, right? And some people's forms of expression is constant stress, constant chaos. So you go back to conquering the chaos, right? Well, how do you conquer the chaos? Well, you find solutions, you find people, you find methodologies. What is the chaos? What's causing the chaos? And how do you dance with it?
Yeah.
People want the chaos to go away. It's not going to go away. The treadmill of crap as an entrepreneur or a business owner or as a human never goes away. What changes is your ability to resource yourself, your ability to look at it, your ability to solve it. I say to young entrepreneurs all the time, if I would have known being successful was this much work, I would have You have no idea. You have no idea the things that you don't even know that are going to happen, but it's with those challenges that you'll have the biggest breakthroughs.
Yes.
If people were really great at follow through, and they were really good at doing all this marketing stuff, what we do and help people with would be we would have correction. So thank God.
Chemist for human behavior. Exactly. So you said so much there to a simple question of what drives you as an entrepreneur. I want to just hit a couple of the things that you said. I love your point that it's problem solving for money. And there's a dopamine hit that comes from that. That's not just the money. And like when you start, you think it's the money. That's the dopamine hit.
Yeah.
And it is at first. It's like, hey, that was really awesome. But what you don't realize is it's actually the problem you solved and the validation that's coming from your customer, the market that's saying, yeah, you know, Dave Ramsey, you know, we both know Dave. Dave calls, he says, you know, when you do a job done well as an entrepreneur, you get certificates of appreciation with presidents' faces on them. That's what it is. They appreciate you. They're appreciating, and you get paid. You know, you get paid money to do that. So the dopamine hit that you're calling out is, as you called it, it's the expression. You're expressing yourself, and it's being valued and received by the market in a way that just feels really awesome. Because not only are they saying, "Hey, great job," and give you this, you know, this appreciation, but you get the thrill of being able to, as you call it, I call it out in my book. I quote you as calling them fun tickets.
Right. Fun tickets is like, yeah,
that's right.
Because people say money can't buy happiness, and I'm like, well, it's silly because I buy happiness all the time. But there's certain contexts of what you can do with money. I mean, we know, both of us know people that have a lot of money. They aren't having fun.
Not having fun.
And frankly, people that more money someone has, the more often they worry about the money.
Yeah.
So money is really important. I would never poo-poo money because, you know, people will kill other humans in order to get their money.
Yeah.
That's why there's crimes. That's why there's so much stuff. And at the same token, though, it is a tool like anything else. And how you utilize it, how you express yourself with it, it has everything to do with how your shows up. Yeah. I mean,
Well, I remember you told me the fun tickets quote 20 years ago. It was early when we started working with you. And when I wrote the book last year, I was talking about money because so many times entrepreneurs have a really almost an impossible relationship with money. It prevents them from being successful, especially early stage entrepreneurs. If they didn't come from families with money, it's a real challenge. And so just getting your mind right around money and that it's a great thing and that it's, you know, there's nothing inherently evil about money. It's what we do with it and how it drives us and how we get into the comparison and putting people down, all that stuff.
Right.
So I really appreciated your perspective on that years ago, and it is fun. It's a lot of fun.
To the point too, if someone's watching this and you have a dysfunctional or a confusing relationship with the making of money, or somehow, like I have a genius I work with named Dr. Don Wood, and this is usually a statement related to trauma, although I think it applies here, is he said, if you understood the atmospheric conditions of somebody's life, it would make sense why they are the way that they are. So I can look at almost anyone, doing good stuff or bad stuff. How did they turn out that way? Well, if we will go back and watch their life, it would make sense. So if someone has some sort of weird relationship with money or they feel guilty, you can trace it back to your parents. Sure. You can trace it back. And believe me, we live in a very anti-capitalistic world. There are many people.
It's getting more and more so.
It's that. And, you know, like, I think it was Hayek who wrote the Serto. He said, the biggest problem with capitalism is it was named by its enemies. And that capitalism in its purest form is simply collaboration between individuals exchanging, goods, products, services for value, be it in the form of money or whatever. And so, don't get hung up on the word, because some people, like the word capitalism, whatever. But ultimately, the making of money, if you are creating value, reducing suffering, expanding the lives of your community, individuals, not contracting them, why would you have any issue with doing that if that was actually happening?
Right.
And sometimes people have a guilt trip with money because they have learned how to make money from people that are unethical, or there's some sort of taking advantage of.
Right.
And frankly, not all money is created equal. I also look at half as not just hard, annoying, lame, and frustrating, but hard, annoying, lucrative, and frustrating, because some money you have to bleed for. I mean, it's painful. You make money. And I will ask successful entrepreneurs, How many of you ever made a lot of money doing something you absolutely hated with people that you despise and didn't like you, were completely unappreciative? And of course, everyone, if they think about it, they'll, yeah, well, see, then you realize it's not the money with the printed dollar signs or the cryptocurrency or whatever form of value that you're capturing it in. It's doing things right versus doing the right thing are completely different things.
Yeah.
And if you do the right thing, create value for people, you deserve to make whatever amount of money you want. And like, there's this whole notion of, I've probably raised more money for foundations and charities and stuff than I've ever paid myself. And having said that, that doesn't mean that I want to give back. I don't like the term giving back. I don't either. I've never, it's like, if I take your shoes, I should give them.
Right.
If I've not taken any for you, there's nothing to give back.
Right.
And so a lot of people want to guilt someone because they've had success. So I'm all for giving. I wrote a book called Life Gives to the Giver. Yeah. I am a giver. I like giving. I like helping people. That being said, it's not because I'm obligated.
Yeah, give back implies that you took it in the first place.
Exactly.
And there's no taking. It was a valuable exchange. I'm an economics major, and you learn in economics 101, when someone trades dollars for the thing they're getting in exchange, they value that thing more than the dollars they're trading.
Right.
They're parting with dollars because they like that thing more that they're getting in exchange. So we're adding value. We're literally creating value when we do an exchange, because on the other hand, the person on the other side values the dollars more than the thing that they're giving up, right? So both sides are getting a benefit of the bargain, and yet somehow that's bad?
Exactly. It's happening all day long, every day, and it's like, how do you get food? How do you get medical care? How do you get fuel for your automobile? If it's electricity or it's gas, this is all a constant exchange.
Conquer the Chaos listeners, let me talk to you straight for just a minute. You're running your business and it dominates your mind. It can be very difficult to take a step back and see what's needed to create balance in your business and your personal life, and to create great growth and development and progress in your business and personal life. One of the most powerful ways to gain the perspective that you need is to get away from things and immerse yourself in an environment where you're going to be inspired, where you can see possibilities, where you can create connections, and where you can learn and grow and develop. And I know of no better place for entrepreneurs than Keap's Let's Grow Summit. For years, we ran this conference as just an amazing mecca for entrepreneurship. And then, truth be told, for a few years, we didn't run it. We got back to it last year, and this year we're putting it on, and it is going to be awesome. I am so excited about this, and I want you as our listeners to not miss out on this event. It's going to be November 20th through the 22nd, downtown Phoenix, with the main days being the 21st and the 22nd. You can register for it by going to keap.com/Let's Grow Summit. That's keap.com/Let's Grow Summit. And you can take advantage of our early bird registration pricing, which expires the end of July. So if you are needing a reflection time, an opportunity to take a step back, gain greater perspective, inspiration, and most of all, see what automation, the fifth key to success, can do for your business, then make sure that you attend the Let's Grow Summit. Keap.com/Let's Grow Summit, November 20th through 22nd in Phoenix. I look forward to seeing you there. Thanks so much for listening. Subscribe right here on YouTube or in your favorite podcast app to make sure that you don't miss a single episode of the Conquer the Chaos podcast. And hey, if you like this episode, let's get this out to more entrepreneurs. We all know that it is not easy to grow a great business and a great life. And so let's get this message out to others. Make sure that you hit the like button, that you comment, and that you share it with others so that we can help other entrepreneurs build a great business and a great life as they conquer the chaos. Keep going, keep serving, and keep growing.